Alright, we got Indirect Nightmare Doll support today, and of course that includes more clan collections for cards of the day, so let's begin. First off, for Dokuvan, because I missed that one, we got Evil Decoy token support, so we're gonna start off with Stealth Beast Megami, grade 1 AK pound skills, act, rearguard once per turn, cost, retire 1 grade 0 and soul charge 1, like I said, Evil Decoy tokens. But second skill, auto rearguard, when this card boosts a rearguard, cost soul blast 1, this unit returns back to the hand after boosting a rearguard. Can be important sometimes, especially when you need more room for Evil Decoy tokens, but much more of a tech card than anything. Next, Evil Stealth Dragon Kogekachi, grade 2 90 pound skills. Auto, when placed on Vanguard rearguard, call 1 Evil Decoy token to rearguard. Free Evil Decoy token, why not? But second skill, act Vanguard rearguard. Once per turn, cost soul blast 1 during this turn, all your Evil Decoy tokens get boost and power plus 5k. Yup, definitely really good for Evil Decoy tokens, just more ways for more boosting and extra power is really nice. And it also gives you a free token too, so of course you should run it. And finally, Evil Stealth Dragon Magoroku Fugen, grade 3 token power, protect, and its skills. Count Vanguard during your turn. For each of your Evil Decoy tokens, your front row gets plus 5k power. You got a lot of token generating, and getting them in your back row isn't too hard either, so about average 15k. So that itself is pretty good. But second skill, count Vanguard. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or higher, if you have 3 or more Evil Decoy tokens, all your front row units get plus 1 crit. Damn, a lot of pressure right there. And increase of power is really nice right there as well. And into the third skill, which combos out with a bouncing units, act Vanguard. When your rearguard is returned to your hand by card ability, call 1 Evil Decoy token to one of those rearguards without a unit, and then cost counterblast 1, get 1 imaginary gift protect, and place it on that circle. And no, it doesn't mean that you have to play protect 2. If you choose protect 1, the protect marker will still go to your hand, but you won't get that protect marker on the rearguard. It's just for protect 2 purposes. This is overall not bad. It synergizes with your Evil Decoy token support, of course, especially there's a lot of bouncing units in Nubatama. Gets mass power and also mass crit for high pressure for a protect clan, so you could actually play aggressive with this deck. I say this is another nice alternative for Evil Decoy tokens. And now to a Shadow Paladin card, which you could technically say it's a Luard card, Origin Mage Ildona, grade 3, 13 power, force, and skills. Count deck and drop zone. This card's grade gets -2, meaning at deck and drop zone this is considered a grade 1. That supports a lot of Shadow Paladin decks right there, mainly Luard and Cleric Sword. And don't forget those grade 1 call engines for your Shadow Paladins. But second skill, act hand. If your Vanguard is grade 1, cost discard this card from hand, reveal the top 10 cards of your deck. If you reveal 2 or more grade 1 cards, choose a grade 2 or greater from among them, reveal it and put it to your hand, and of course shuffle your deck. So if you're playing a deck that consists of a lot of grade 1s, aka Luard or Cleric Sword, this basically just adds a little more consistency, and also this being a grade 3 also really helps out with extra consistency as well. Too bad if you reveal this from the top 10, it will still be counted as a grade 1 because it's still part of the deck, just remember that. But it has a third skill as well. Auto Vanguard Rearguard. When this card attacks, cost counterblast 1, retire 2 other rearguards, draw 2 cards, and if this card's on Vanguard, this card gets plus 5k power to end the battle for each grade 1 in your drop zone. Overall, the main part is really the first and second skill because that's the most important part. The third one is just more of a bonus if you just need to ride air call it. And you might even call this sometimes because it is a 13k beater that you could superior call from deck. And now to Nova Grappler, Ultimate Life Form Cosmo Lord. Grade 3, token power, excel, and skills. Count Vanguard rearguard. During turn, if you have no stand units, this card gets plus 3k power for each of your rearguards. So basically, this is best in its last attack, especially for its second skill where act Vanguard rearguard. Once per turn, cost rest 2 of your rearguards, and this card gets this skill. Auto Vanguard rearguard. Once per turn, at the end of the battle of this card attack, cost counterblast 1, stand this unit, and it gets drive -2 until the end of the turn. The rest isn't too much of a problem. There are a lot of Nova Grappler cards that could just restand during your main phase, and at least that this also works on rearguard, so if you want this big last attack on your rearguard that could restand itself, it's also there as well. But I do have to say there's a lot better options for Nova Grapplers. And now to Murukumo, Stealth Fiend Tizen, grade 1 AK power and skills. Auto, when placed on rearguard by card ability, this card gets plus 5k power in a turn. Duplication with Murukumo. But anyway, second skill, auto rearguard. When this card does not attack hit, if your Vanguard is Shiigami Messenger Ryougi, cost, put this unit to soul, look at top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 grade 3 card from among them, reveal it and put it to your hand, and then of course shuffle your deck. I mean, this second skill can be an easy condition if it just swings on your opponent's grade 2 or grade 3 Vanguard alone. And even if you do miss, at least that you clear up your board and still put this to soul, because Murukumo duplication tends to send the stuff back to the bottom of the deck. So it's an okay card. Next, Stealth Fiend Fugan. Grade 2, 90 power and skillless. Auto, when placed on rearguard by card ability, plus 5k until the end of turn. Okay. Second skill, auto rearguard. When this card attack does not hit, if your Vanguard is Ryougi, cost, put this unit as soul, choose all your rearguards with the same card name as your Vanguard, and they get plus 5k power in the end of turn. Well, these two cards are Stealth Fiend support, it's directly only with this new Vanguard. Which we got Shikigami Messenger Ryougi, which is grade 3, 12k power XL, and the skill is Act Vanguard. Once per turn, cost Counterblast 1. Look at top 5 cards of your deck, choose one card with Stealth Fiend from among them and call it to rearguard. And then of course shuffle your deck. If your opponent's grade 3 or greater, you can choose 2 cards instead. Not bad, especially now you got a decent number of Stealth Fiends, so getting 2 calls should not be too hard. Although averaging is usually 1, but hey, getting the bonus is always nice. Second skill, Auto Vanguard. When your rearguard is placed by this unit's ability, that unit copies this card's name. That'll be important as you can tell from the other 2 support cards. And duplication for Murukumo is always really good. Third skill, Auto Vanguard. When this card does not hit, cost Soul Blast 2, choose up to the same number of Stealth Fiend cards from your drop zone as the number of additional rearguards and call them to the additional rearguards. Does not hit multi-attack. I guess it's good at your opponent's endgame. Honestly though, I still don't know how to feel about the Stealth Fiends because Stealth Fiends have been weird so far, especially with this wave focusing on this new grade 3 on not hitting, so I don't exactly know how to feel about Stealth Fiends at the moment. And now to Mega Colony, we got Mega Colony Battler M. Grade 1, 80 power and skills. Auto, when put on Guardian, this card gets shield plus 5k into the end of the battle for every 2 of your opponent's rested units. Well, this card will get at least 5k extra shield, but usually you're going to use this for the last attack. And in second skill, Auto, when retired from Guardian Circle, if your opponent has no stand units, call this to open rearguard and soul charge 1. So basically you do want to use this for the last attack. Although playing a defensive card for Mega Colony might not be the best option unless you have the space for it, because I'd rather just paralyze them right off the bat. That's basically 1 attack lost and 1 less shield card to use. Next, Mega Colony Battler S. Wait, S and M. Okay. Anyway, grade 2, 90 power and skills. Auto, when placed on rearguard, costs Soul Blast 1. Your opponent chooses a card from their hand and call it to rearguard as rest, and then they draw a card. The called unit cannot stand during the next stand phase, and your opponent's auto abilities do not activate from the call. Yes, in technicality wise, it gives your opponent a plus, but it also forces your opponent to put a rested rearguard. Which, if they do that, that does trigger all your Mega Colony abilities because many of them do need your opponent to have a rested rearguard. So this skill will be really helpful depending on the matchup. But second skill, Act Drop Zone once per turn. If your opponent has no stand units, cost discard a card from hand and call this to open rearguard and soul charge 1, which will also trigger the first skill. I mean, it's not bad to trade for this sometimes depending on what card you have, and sometimes you do need a unit more on the board than having a shield value unit, so why not? And triggering the first skill can also be very helpful sometimes, especially when you need more non-standing units. And finally to a Anakami, Armor Break Dragon, grade 3, total power, excel and skills. Act Vanguard, costs Counterblast 3, bind all your opponent's front row rearguards and this card gets plus 10k power, 2 crits until the end of turn for each of your opponent's open front row rearguards. I mean, if you have the Counterblast to do it to give this card a mass power up and crits, why not? But the second skill actually makes it better. Auto Vanguard, when this card attacks, if your damage zone has 4 or more cards into the end of the battle, this card gets plus 10k power, and your opponent cannot call Sentinels from their hand to Guardian. So basically this is more of a finisher than anything because it wants you to be at depth range, but it costs a lot of resources to do so. But depending on the deck, this could actually be ran as a 2-of maybe just to fuck with your opponent. And now to the Tuesday stream. I'm not going to go over the promos, but we got a new Messiah and Hamskate promo, which are both good for their respective decks. I hope this doesn't become a trend for V cards because this seems to be one for Bushiroad. And then to the Pale Moon cards themselves. First up, we got Engaging Assistant. Grade 1, 80 power and skills. Auto, when placed on Vanguard rearguard from hand, look at top 5 cards of the deck, choose one grade 3 from among them and put it to your soul, and of course shuffle your deck. Yeah, anything that puts a grade 3 to soul right away, even for Pale Moon, kinda worries me a little bit. Because depending on the deck, that can speed you up for 1 turn. And yeah, I know Pale Moon can just do easy soul charging, I'm just saying. And because it says grade 3 as well, there's also Nightmare Dolls that focus around on grade 3s as well. But anyway, second skill. Act Rearguard. Cost retire this unit, choose a grade 3 card from your soul and put it to your hand. And if your Vanguard is not Sword Magician Sarah, choose a card from your hand and discard it. Increase of consistency, pretty generic even if you don't play Sarah because it lets you search for a grade 3 from soul. So this might be a staple for Pale Moon. Next, pop out Chimera. Grade 2, 90 power and skillless. Count, rearguard deck, soul, trigger zone. This card is treated as a grade 3. Why not? Second skill. Auto, when placed on Vanguard, cost count boss 1, soul charge 3, use soul charge at least 1 trigger unit, draw a card. Alright, not bad. Third skill, count rearguard. If 2 or more units were called from soul this turn, this card was 10k power into the end turn, which is very likely going to happen. Although I think what's important about this card is that it's a grade 2 that can count as a grade 3, especially for the next card. Because our last card of the day, which is Sword Magician Sarah, which is a grade 3 with 12k power, excel, and the skillless. Act, Vanguard, once per turn, cost count boss 1, search your deck for 1 grade 3 card and call it to rearguard, and then shuffle your deck. Into the end of turn, this unit gets this skill. Count Vanguard, all your grade 3 rearguards get boost and plus 2k. So it searches your deck for any grade 3, which you do have good targets like Nightmare Dolls, so that is already pretty nice. And giving your grade 3s extra boost and extra power on top of that, that's going to be huge power right there. And into the second skill, Auto Vanguard. At the end of battle that your draw check reveals a grade 3 or greater card, cost put 2 normal units from your rearguard to the bottom of the deck in any order, choose up to 2 grade 3 cards in your soul and call them to rearguard. So it's kind of like Bastion a little bit, except that you call 2 more cards in soul, which is 2 more attacks. Not really fair to compare it to that, but that's what it sounds like. And also, this basically just puts a good Nightmare Doll engine here as well. Because oh boy, there's a lot of good Nightmare Dolls that work well in rearguard. And then next week we got Ashlei Reverse, finally. So that's it for these reveals. What do you guys think of them? Like usual, it's just more support and engines for current existing decks. Some of them are new decks that I just don't really care too much about. And in general, I don't even play any of these clans, but the Pale Moon one is a little interesting, especially if you decide to mix it with Nightmare Dolls. But on that, that's it for this. See you all next time.